drugs and alcohol really played a big part.
You were doing a lot of drugs and alcohol?
Yeah, lots.
Another thing nobody ever really says, yes, I was doing lots of drugs.
I was.
In a gleeful way. Did you enjoy it?
I did till I didn't. I did until I didn't.
How long was the did period?
The did period was a good 15 years. Not, and I'm not going to say, balls to the wall 15 years, but there were a good 4 or 5 years of balls to the wall. And
the last 4 or 5 or?
Yeah. I would say the last 4 or 5.
That's generally how it goes.
But at that time, I worked on the road. I worked with Bette Midler and I worked with Bob Dylan for a minute. I worked with Tanya Tucker as a background singer.
Got it.
I would open for Etta James, though. I worked with Etta. I was in her band, and she would push me out.
What kind of crowd would Etta James have?
Little clubs. I went all over the country. We were playing. This is when Etta was
mostly black, mostly mixed, white.
Mostly black.
Great.
And some white. I mean, we had a mixed band for sure. But she wanted me to open the show. So at the beginning of the tour, I'm doing one song. By the middle and end, I'm doing 4 songs. And then, so that was pretty exciting. Great. It was great.
So you'd be doing drugs on the road and drinking and doing drugs on the road.
Yeah, which everybody did. Yeah. I mean, this is the 70s and 80s. So it was normal. It was you just did that. And as long as you could make it to the gig and not fall off the stage, I was pretty secretive about it. So I don't think Ms. Midler knew that was going on. I think
she's an avid listener, so
she?
It's over.
No, I would tell her to her face. But anyway, so my path to being an actor, though, was definitely after I kind of realized I couldn't pay the rent, and I better start saying yes to some things. I was very snobby about the whole thing. I was only a musician. It was I guess it was rebellious against my family, they were in that part of the business. Oh, I know what it was, Neal. When I was about 24, my father sent me to an audition. And the casting people said to me, literally to my face, "You're just not TV type. You should go do something else."
Don't act, don't perform? Go
be theatrical. I think I was, like I said, I was very emotional. So I was probably way over the top, whatever it was I was doing.
Got it.
And they were but also this was the days of Dallas Dynasty. Everybody was blonde and perfect. And I just didn't fit the mold. So. Can
we talk more about drugs and alcohol?
Sure. Whatever you'd like.
What were you, would you get drunk every day? Was it the kind of thing you drink and then do coke to sober up and then get drunk again? And the yo-yo thing?
That would be a weekend situation. But I was very functioning. It started when I was 14 years old. I was a fat kid.
Yeah, that was one of her blocks.
My parents took me to the doctor, and the doctor gave me amphetamines.
There you go. Now we're talking.
It was so fun. Uh-huh. And I didn't lose a pound, but I felt so much better. I needed antidepressants is probably the truth, because I was kind of a dark, sad, fat kid.
Okay. You were eating
eating
even
my
meth
feelings.
Amphetamines didn't make a dent.
Not a huge difference. I mean, but it did start a lifelong need for something to change the way I felt. That's what it started.
So just you didn't like the way you felt in your body?
I felt much better when I was on amphetamines.
You didn't mind the way you woke up or the way you were at 11 a.m. or whatever. But there was a better. There was
a better way to go. I was chattier. I was more. I thought I was just very badass and cool and kind of. Because I grew up on the West Side.
What's interesting is you are though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You are. So I'm wondering what you look like or how you were presenting back then. Do you think that what's cool about you now or what the thing that I think is cool about you now is comfort in your own skin?
Oh, that's a big contributor. Absolutely. I think that now at this time of my life, I really don't give a fuck when anybody really thinks. I mean, I want to be kind and polite, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not out to impress. I don't have big FOMO anymore. I don't
Yeah.
have any of that. But growing up, I was kind of like, here's a perfect example. I was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. My best friend was like gorgeous, this knockout girl that I just loved her. She was so great. And she was older than me, and all the boys liked her, and the boys didn't like me. So that's a pretty good snapshot.
You were fat? What?
I think so. That's what I would say. You know, it's a pretty superficial age, high school.
High school through death is pretty superficial. The whole thing's pretty superficial, Katey, let's be honest. And then when did you figure out, I'm assuming, when did you start to be not fat?
Oh, by the time I was in my 20s, by the time I started to go on the road, by the time I found cocaine, by the time
Before there was Ozempic.
Yeah, before there was Ozempic, there was cocaine. Not legal, but probably around then. But it's interesting when you grow up with that image of yourself, you know, it takes a long time to let her go away. So, I mean, I still have my days sometimes when I don't quite see myself clearly, and I've learned to just stop looking on those days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, don't focus quite so much on yourself.
What do you focus on?
Somebody else.
Like helping? Is it one of those things of like contrary action? Is it like be of service? Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of those. It's a lot of those kind of little tricks. You know, sometimes I'll just go make my bed instead of, you know, or I'll just walk out the door, or I'll answer the phone to somebody that I know is going to want to talk about something that they need to talk about. So I'll just get off myself, you know, because I can still really pick away.
And it's like a form of dysmorphia where you're like, what is it like a lot of touching and...
Well, a little bit of that, yeah. But like I said, at this point in my life, I kind of don't, I'm not as hard on myself as I used to be. I was always very hard on myself.
Yeah. You're drinking, doing drugs. How were your romantic situations?
Filled with drinking and drugs. Well, I got married early. The first time I got married, I was 22.
Not that uncommon back then, or still uncommon?
I think it was kind of uncommon.
Okay.
I mean, but the indication of where I was at was he was a bass player in my band. He asked me to marry him. And
I like it so far.
I actually thought, nobody may ever ask me again, so I'm going to say yes. And it was a time in my life where I had lost my mother, and my mother had passed away a couple years previously. So I was just looking for some place to land. And and that marriage was filled with all kind of party favors. And
then you came to your senses how soon?
That marriage lasted about 4 years.
Oh, that's not bad. For a bassist?
Yeah, pretty good. But we were both like on the road with different people. I mean, it was just a shit show. But we actually didn't get divorced for a while. I remember saying, I had a boyfriend after him, and I was like, I'm not sure about this guy, so let's just stay married.
And what were you doing in those things? What were you misplaying your life? Do you know what I mean? Like, what were you doing that was like faulty behavior?
Well, I was kind of first of all, I would always be with men that had a bigger alcohol problem than I did. Huh. So I was able to hide my own. Is what I learned in hindsight. Got it. In other words, so you're smoking opium during the week, right? And
opium? You?
Not me. A husband.
Oh, fuck. I want to smoke opium. It's like one of my great regrets. It's on my bucket list.
Chasing the dragon?
Yeah, I just want to, it just seems great.
Well, he thought so too. And
you never tried it?
I did. Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But what did you think of it?
Thank God I did not like it.
Okay.
Because I was very much, so anyway, so he's doing that during the week, and I'm doing blow on the weekends, and then taking some little diet pills, amphetamines during the week. So I don't have a problem. Nothing's wrong with me. So I was always able to deflect the problem to the other person in the relationship. And that was kind of my dating pattern as well.
And you think, obviously there's this like psychological thing where we supposedly pick these people intentionally. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's what it was? Like,
I'll tell you exactly why.
Go.
I know all this. Here's a therapy.
Yes, right.
So my mother was sick most of her life. My mother suffered from heart disease at a young age and also depression. So my life as the oldest of 5 was a lot about making my mom better and making my mom feel better.
Yeah.
And trying to get her off of pills and just smoke weed.
And were you like the assistant mom as well?
I was kind of the assistant mom. More so than not, we all kind of splintered, into our own little worlds. But I was very much the, I just remember coming home from school and sitting outside her bedroom door at like 2 p.m. waiting for her to wake up. And so I was that kid that I was the savior kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the husbands needed a little saving. So that was my position. That's when I knew I was needed.
Got it.
You were a bit broken, and I was just not quite as broken. So that was kind of where I was.
Hey, you should like and subscribe.